Hi there and welcome to another edition of Onside SA, the soccer show that keeps you up to speed with what's going on with last one standing, and the rugby's coming down very tight, the Super Rugby.
Yeah, and there's Six Nations, some good games. I watched Scotland, Ireland last week. Scotland, good game.
Ireland play on the St. Patrick's Day to get the Grand Slam.
Yeah.
In London. Should be a great game. But let's just look at the rugby. 16 went through.
Yeah.
18 went out. It's tough. It's
really tough ball. You know, that's why we got the competition. It's not going to last as long as the rugby as the soccer.
Yeah.
So it's good fun. Not a chirping going on.
Yeah.
But
There's
so
a
the
lot
first
of
one,
bragging rights here because rugby guys think they're clever. I think us football guys get it wrong. But I don't see too many of them. But I do see Richard Allen's gone favourite.
Yeah, Richie. I told him that he was tied favourite. He wasn't happy with me. But
top of the board.
Yeah, he was on Hurricanes first up. They won. Classic, them and the Crusaders.
That's
so he's through.
He's through. And then there's a couple of boys who've still got 2 picks. And Mithun Harilal.
Yeah.
Was it Mark Hartford? And Kevin Redford. Bodrum.
Yeah, Bodrum still got a couple.
A footballer.
He's
just shows we watch sports, So that's the last one standing. We'll be getting hold of our international pundit Stevie B in a moment. They'll be trying to get him. He's in the office today. And just keep going. Don't forget to get your rugby bets on. Aren't there any odds or a slide on the rugby?
Yep.
Let's have a look. Here we go. Before we go to football, here are the odds this week, Budge. And I know I went with the Sharks, but I looked at these odds when you sent them out the other day. What did you think? Would you ever touch on the England-Ireland game?
Yeah, if I was having a bet, I'd go for Ireland. I can't have England.
Me too. I can't have them. The cart horses.
Yeah. You know, just going from the top down, Chiefs, Bulls, the Bulls, once they leave Pretoria, never the same. They played in Brazil's colours last week, but the Chiefs have had a break. You never know with the Chiefs. Big
Chiefs
spread.
Are good.
Yeah, the Highlanders Crusaders should be a cracker.
Great game. Great game.
Watch breakdown the other night.
Sharks and Brumbies, we've got a squeak here. We've got a squeak. Because the Brumbies have... bad. That's the reason why. Stormers haven't had the greatest tour. They're back at home.
Blues played well against the Lions. You don't beat the Lions at Ellis Park.
Yeah.
So I think they'll roll the Stormers.
The Lions, big spread, Sunwolves.
Can't get involved there. Jaguars, I can't watch midnight. They beat the Waratahs last week. So
the Rebels are playing well, and you're getting +1. Is it +15 or +1.5?
+1.5 at the Waratahs.
Well.
You know, Italy, Scotland. Paul, I'm still going. You know, I was on Ireland last week. I watched the Italy-Wales game. 17.5 is a big spread.
Yeah.
I don't know which way I'll go. Ireland, I just think...
I think Ireland will beat England. I'm hoping they do.
Yeah, and then Wales, France. You never know with the French. They beat England.
I think France 8.5 is big. Well, they're big. You know, they nearly beat Ireland. It was a drop kick. They beat England.
Both at home, though.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Can they travel like the Bulls? All right, well, that's the story. Make sure you get your bets on. There's 18 of you left in. And we're going to get hold of Stevie B, as I said. But let's quickly get on to soccer. I know Stevie B stayed in.
Yeah, he stayed in with Arsenal.
He stayed in with a lot of people stayed in. This is the best results we've had for the pundits out there, because 73 went into the weekend and 70 got through. 3 went out. 2 went for Huddersfield.
Yeah.
And 1 went for West Ham.
Yeah.
West Ham muck. But it'll get much harder now.
Charlie Birch, he's a West Ham supporter. So
good for him.
Maybe he was one that ran on the pitch.
Yeah, we'll get on that a bit later. Yeah. So, Sean Matthew, is that his name?
Yeah, Sean Matthew. 4 picks every week. He's been on the same team.
He's still using that
well,
tactic.
This week or when the next...
9 people have 2 picks, so it's still very tight. Favourite is a boy from Newcastle. Or a Newcastle supporter.
No, he's a Tottenham supporter. Peter de Villiers.
Peter de Villiers, the rugby coach.
Have a look at the teams he's still got to use. The bottom line there.
He can still use Man City, Man United, Chelsea, Liverpool last week. He's a hot favourite.
He was on Newcastle last week, Pete. So he's crowing. But
no, Pete's entitled to crow. Pete, I think your hot favourite here, sheesh, you got to hit Man City, because they beat everything they meet. But there's not that many. As yet, we haven't got Stevie on the line, so we're going to come back. But last one, Standy, make sure you get your selections on. And there it is. Thanks very much to Track and Ball who sponsor it. 73 down to 70. Okay. Peter de Villiers, racing certainty.
We'll see.
Racing certainty. Right, Budge, we're trying to get hold of Steve. He's in the office. We'll just talk about it for the moment. Oh, Budge, while we're waiting to get hold of him, let's talk a bit of the Nedbank Cup.
Yeah.
Let's get that Nedbank Cup out of the way. Cape Town City beat Orlando
It was
Pirates.
last night. Close game, Close game.
Was it?
Took the chance. And
was that Benny winning?
That's Benny's team, all the Pirates boys were chirping, but not easy winning in Cape Town.
Never. This was the Nedbank Cup for last 16.
Yeah, last 16. Now
so Pirates are gone.
Pirates, good night.
Are Chiefs still in?
She's still in, yeah.
Okay, let me move that out of the way. And I'm going to go to the South African soccer while we try and get hold of Stevie B. Is FA Cup.
Yep.
You're a Nedbank challenge, and again on that budget. Now, tell
No,
you what,
it's the league, yeah. That was a Nedbank last night, yeah. Oh, Maritzburg, Polokwane, Paul.
is this league?
This is league, yeah. Yeah, they
Okay.
finished up, yeah. It's Maritzburg, Polokwane. Polokwane have drawn 6 of the last 7. You know, at Maritzburg at home, they've won 4 of the last 6, going well under Fadlu Davids, they 4th. You know, expect Maritzburg to get a positive result
Friday,
there.
8 o'clock.
Yeah, a draw
Sorry, but
obviously
just
a
want to
player.
repeat it. These are all PSL matches.
These are all PSL matches, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And then Saturday, Chipper,
Well,
Free
Chipper,
State.
you know, Chipper have only won 1 out of the last 10. You know, Free State Stars have won 6 of the last
Did
10.
Free State Stars win their last game?
Yep.
Do you remember Stevie who said, who's going to win? He
Who's
said,
gonna
Free
win?
State
Free
Stars.
State
Sure.
Stars, yeah, they're
We've got him
going
on
well.
the line. The legend is on the line.
Yep.
And we can get back to him. But let me just get that out of the way. Okay, Stevie, are you there? Stevie?
Yep, I can hear you.
Steve, can you hear us?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Lovely. Budge and I are here. We've just been talking about the last one standing while we got you on the line. You went through with Arsenal. It's much tougher for you now.
Absolutely. Is it on this weekend? Because
No.
obviously there aren't many games.
No.
31st.
No,
Steve.
okay, fine.
31st.
It'll be 3 weeks then.
Yes, 31st. You've got enough time to do a bit of thinking. There's still 70 people left in, Steve, but there's been
Okay.
some great developments that Budge and I want to talk to you about. And firstly, Mark Hughes straight back into a job?
Yeah, I mean, it's not. It's a bit of a no-brainer for him. He's got nothing to lose. He comes into a team, 1 win in 17. He's got 8 games to try and keep them up. They're still out of the relegation zone just. A reported £1 million bonus if he keeps them up. So, you know, he has got nothing to lose. Obviously, if he does, then maybe he'll probably get the job full-time.
Yeah.
I think they probably left it a little bit too late. You know, There's obviously a lot of unrest at the club, and I think after last weekend, the way they lost at Newcastle and the comments that Pellegrino made, I think there was no way back for him.
Yeah, and he's also in the FA Cup, Mark Hughes, so chance to put his name in
I
lights.
think that's probably just more of a distraction for them, if anything else. But you know, they've got a winnable game at Wigan. I think the last thing they really want would be a draw and get a replay. I don't think they need an extra game. So you know, I think for them it's either sort of win or go out. A draw, I think, really won't suit them.
Just next one I want to speak to you about is my beloved Harry Kane. He's out reportedly for a month. It's fallen.
Yeah, well, they're saying a month before he comes back to training. So
okay.
It could be even a little bit longer before he's match fit. So I mean, a big loss for Tottenham.
Yeah, he won. Steve, he won the Golden Boot, missing 9 games last year. So this is going to make it tougher because Salah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But just if we're fortunate in some way, we've got FA Cup and we've got international games, which means it's not quite a bigger knockback as it could have been.
No, absolutely. But you know, but again, having said that, obviously when he went off on last Sunday, Tottenham scored 4 goals. So you know, there are goals in the team, but you know, I think they will miss him up front.
You have to.
There isn't a natural deputy for him, really.
Steve, being in London, what was the fallout with West Ham, the Olympic Stadium?
Well, that's still ongoing. I mean, it's part of the issue is that West Ham obviously because they don't own the stadium. It's the stadium owners that arrange the stewarding, and there's been an ongoing issue because generally there's not police in the stadium. So I think that was part of the reason why, you know, people were able to get on the pitch. They were, you know, they could run around. There weren't the stewards on, you know, rushing on to get them off. There was the trouble sort of in front of the directors' area. There were no police there initially. So I think by the time they play their next home game against Southampton, my understanding is there'll be a lot more stewarding and there will be police in the ground. So
Steve,
West Ham have said that they will ban for life any fan who ran on the pitch or was found guilty of throwing anything towards the director's box area.
Steve, did you invade the pitch?
No, actually, it's so far from the stand to the pitch. I probably wouldn't have made it. I'd have given up by then.
All right, let's go on. We just want to talk to you about Champions League before we talk about obviously the championship. Budge,
I'm waiting to have a quick word with Budge about that. We'll hold that for a minute.
Hold that for a minute, yeah. Man United, Sevilla. Sheesh, you beat
disappointing,
Liverpool.
very
You're
disappointing.
very
Yeah,
disappointing.
it wasn't a good performance, and the ease with which Seville scored their goals was very disappointing. And Mourinho just seemed to be very sort of relaxed about it. Said his team gave a lot of effort, but to me, I mean, United used to be a fortress in Europe at home. Rarely lost. So very disappointing for them, I think.
Yeah, just a lack of creativity. That's what I think. Too many
Oh,
greyhounds.
absolutely. They really didn't create that much. Had a couple of chances towards the end, but they didn't really look like they were going to break Seville down.
Yeah, I just think they got set in that mindset because, beating Liverpool 2-1, all the fans were happy. We won the pub battle. But, performance-wise, it wasn't the greatest. And just looking at that Liverpool back four with Alexander-Arnold and Robertson and Lovren and the goalkeeper, we should have scored 4 or 5 against that team just to sit back. Now, he's got to change his ways, Mourinho.
At 2-0, really, they pretty much sat back for a lot of the game. And actually, with a little bit sort of better finishing, Liverpool could have salvaged something.
Yeah.
I thought that defensively they played well, United.
Yeah.
But they really didn't create a lot in the second half against Liverpool.
Yeah. How do you see the Chelsea game last night against Barca? I was impressed with Chelsea. I know they got beat 3-0.
Chelsea played very well. I mean, if all you saw was the score, you'd think they were totally outplayed. But actually, when at one point in the stats, I mean, Barcelona pretty much scored with, every time they attacked, they scored. In the second half, particularly, Chelsea were pressing, but they looked like they just wanted one touch too many.
Yeah.
Whereas the minute the ball found its way up to Messi, it was sort of one touch, onto his left foot and in the back of the net.
Yeah, you could see the difference. I thought Kante and William were outstanding. Eden Hazard
they had really good games. They had really good games, and it's I think had Chelsea have scored at 2-0 when they were pressing, it could have been a much tighter game. But at 3-0, it was game over.
Yeah, when Alonso hit the post with that free kick, that was a changer.
Yeah.
Did you see much of the Bayern Munich game?
No, it was an early kick-off.
Yeah.
In Turkey, so no. I mean, obviously they were sort of 5-0 up for the first leg. They weren't going to let that slip, and with the sounds of it, it was fairly comfortable. So,
yeah. Well, of all the teams,
they're a strong team. They get through to the latter stages pretty much every year.
Yeah.
So they're going to be a team that most want to avoid.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Of all the teams that I've watched, and that includes Real and Barca, I think they're the most complete. If Manuel comes back, I don't know if he is coming back. But if he comes back, I think they'll be the team to beat in that competition. Bayern Munich.
Well, they've got a pretty settled team.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the big names are all there. They're firing. Lewandowski. Roberts back in. You've got Ribery and Muller. I mean, they're a very settled, strong team who know their way around. They've won. They've won the Bundesliga pretty much already.
Yeah.
So they can take the foot off the gas there. And same as City really.
Yeah.
City will win the Premier League. By early April, and they can relax and rest 1 or 2 for the Champions League, which I'm sure they'll probably do.
Yeah, you've seen the difference in quality, especially midfield-wise, between the English teams and the Spanish. It's been frightening. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Although again, for long periods, Chelsea sort of matched them. Barcelona,
they did.
In the game last night, had much less of the ball than they normally would.
Chelsea got a Spanish midfielder.
Yeah, Fabregas. Yeah.
And what about the boy Alonso? Where's he from?
Left back. He's Spanish.
Yeah, he's Spanish. Yeah, they got good players. Stevie, it's now your time to talk about Preston North End and Fulham. You've got the stage.
Well, I did hear it was a close game, and 1-1, it probably could have gone either way.
Yeah.
So we seem to have found a way to dig deep and score some late goals in matches. And it's obviously with Cardiff winning and continually winning, and Villa winning last week. So we've had to. It was a result we really needed.
Yeah. So. You think you should beat QPR early? I know the lunchtime kickoffs aren't
normally...
Well,
you would have thought so, but then QPR came back during the week on Tuesday with an incredible result.
Well, they beat Aston Villa,
completely outplayed Aston Villa at Villa Park. Won 3-1, but were cruising at 3-0. No idea where that result came from. Especially as Villa had just beaten Wolves. So it's one of those leagues. I mean, pretty much anyone could beat anybody on their day.
Yeah.
And but from our point of view, obviously we're chasing Cardiff. We're 8 points behind with 9 games to go. Mm-hmm. We have to win our games.
Yeah.
And hope that Cardiff drop points. So Cardiff are away at Derby on Sunday.
On Sunday, yeah.
Cardiff do still have to play Wolves and Aston Villa, whereas we no longer play anybody in the top 10.
Mm-hmm. Do you expect Aston Villa to rebound and beat Bolton away?
I would be surprised if they didn't. I mean, they were looking quite strong. They'd won the 3 previous games before Tuesday and scored quite a few goals.
Yeah.
So I think they will bounce back. But it's very tight. I think you could get to a scenario with the way that Villa, Fulham and Cardiff are playing, that a team could get close to 90 points and maybe just miss out, which is sort of almost unheard of. So it's pretty exciting at the top. I still think Wolves, even though they had a wobble, I think they're still a little bit too strong.
Yeah.
I think they've got a 11-point gap between 12-point gap between third place and themselves. So I can't see anybody catching Wolves.
The team that seems to have come back into the picture is Middlesbrough. I see they're at Brentford. What do you think?
Yeah, Middlesbrough, we spoke about them recently. They're having a good run. They look very strong. Patrick Bamford is back in the team and scoring goals. And they've got Adam Traore, who, I think that people are saying that he's the fastest player in the Championship. Can score with either foot. And I would have said a couple of weeks ago that would have been quite a tough game, but Brentford seem to have lost their way. They've lost, I think, 3 of the last 4, losing, I think, to Cardiff. I think they're pretty much out of the playoffs scene themselves. So, I think if Brentford lose that game, which could easily happen, I think they're out of it. And Middlesbrough, for me, are pretty much nailed on, going to be top 6.
Yeah. Steve, 2 teams that are hovering around there, or the 6th place anyway. Bristol City at Ipswich?
Yeah, I mean, Bristol, again, both Ipswich are very inconsistent, as we know. I mean, they had a very poor defeat during the week against Hull City, and I'm not sure if you're aware. After the game, Mick McCarthy had the entire squad on the pitch. Didn't let them go back to the dressing room and had them all in a huddle and was giving them a lecture. I can't see Bristol City doing.
Yeah.
Possibly Bristol City should win that. I think, again, they've lost a lot of points recently. They're falling away.
Yeah.
I think, that 6th spot is very close for the moment. I think Middlesbrough will get it, and I think, to me, the 6th spot is really between teams like sort of Preston, Bristol City and Derby, because I think Derby are sort of losing their way a little bit at the moment as well. Yeah,
Sheffield United against Forest. I know Sheffield United are round about I think they're 7th.
Yeah, they are. I mean, again, they're one of these teams that we said, they win one and lose one. Forest have found a little bit of form. They've obviously got quite a few new players in January. So I think that one could easily be a draw. I think that'd be a tight game.
Okay, then the last team at Sunderland, Preston. Are Sunderland gone, Steve?
Well, they were very lucky during the week because Barnsley were beating Norwich. Had they have held on and won that, Sunderland would have been 8 points adrift. As it is, they're 6 points adrift. I think if they don't start winning soon, then I think they are gone. And that's a game that Preston obviously have to bounce back and win. Yeah. So I think Sunderland really can't win at the moment. I think if they go another 2 or 3 without winning, they could be anything 8 to 10 points adrift. I think that's it. And I think the bottom 3 is just starting to fall away. Birmingham 7 in a row they've lost. Birmingham just can't seem to win, and Sunderland as well.
Lovely, Stevie. Thanks very much. And just to give you a parting shot, watch my beloved Irish at Twickenham on the weekend.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we needed that. Yes, we were all at Shea Lafferty's on Saturday watching England fall apart. So.
Yeah. All right, Stevie.
We're saving. England are saving themselves for Japan next year.
Okay, not for South Africa. Eh? Aren't they? Are they coming out here in June? Yeah. They're coming out here in June. Eh?
Yeah, so I understand. Yeah, that'd be great.
That's right. All right, Stevie. Lovely. Thanks very much for your time.
See you next week.
Okay.
Take
Cheers.
Care. Bye.
Bye. All right, let's move on. Now we've had a good look at the football. Let's look at the fixtures this weekend. And Budge, I see they're all played on the Saturday.
Yep.
And interesting games because anything can happen in the FA Cup.
Yeah, well, the first slide is the Premier League. There's 4 Premier League games.
Let's do those first. Okay, the Premier League games. Now, Budge, we will go on to the FA Cup in a moment, but Bournemouth.
I just think this is,
West Brom,
they've got to have a full go. I think there's plenty of goals in this. They're going to leave themselves.
West Brom score goals.
Yeah, well, they score set pieces. Bournemouth fell apart against Spurs. I know the second...
They should have been 2 up.
They should have been 2 up and they had chances. But the way they play, they give teams a chance.
Yeah.
I think, Bournemouth obviously the favourites, but I just don't see this being a draw. West Brom have to go for it. If it's 1-1, they'd rather get beat than and get a point. So I see plenty of goals in this game. Obviously, you've got to fancy Bournemouth.
Also critical is the next game, Butch.
Well, I think 17-10 Crystal Palace is a good thing.
Saha's
back. The second half against Chelsea, they gave Chelsea a bit of a runaround.
Yeah.
They're all back this week. Huddersfield struggling, just a big panel beating physical side. And I think 17-10 Palace is a good bet.
Okay. Stoke City, Everton. Everton at home are very good.
Yeah, I think they've won one out of the last 22 or 23 games away from home. And
That's not good enough.
That was Sam's first away game against Newcastle. Stoke, I didn't think played too badly against Man City. They just lacked a bit of creativity.
Yes, they had chances. They had some chances.
I see them getting something out of this game. They may not win it, but I don't see them getting beat. I can't have Everton.
Yeah, Liverpool are very good at home, and they've just come off a defeat.
Yeah,
Watford are a bit of a mystery side. If they start jiving up front, they can trouble. They've got players.
I thought they gave Arsenal a game. Arsenal played very well.
Yes, they did.
But Watford missed a penalty. They had several chances.
Troy Deeney
missed a penalty. You got to fancy Liverpool to bounce back, but I think there'll be a few goals in that game.
All right, now FA Cup quarterfinals is always interesting in the FA Cup because anything can happen. 5-10 Tottenham, Swansea 11-2. I think Tottenham are a better side than Swansea.
Well,
Most
won the
departments.
last two games, your last two meetings at Swansea. I think Spurs 5-10, Paul. Just got to see the team. But you're out of the Champions League now.
Yeah, that's right.
If you get through this, obviously we've been on Spurs since the jump. Semi-final and finals, both at your home ground now.
Yeah.
But even if it's, I just don't see Swansea beating Spurs.
Is this the quarter?
This is the quarterfinals.
Already, yeah. Okay, Man United back at home. Brighton.
Away from home, Brighton are poor, Paul.
Yeah, they cannot beat Man United.
Especially after getting stuck out. The fans are baying.
So United will go through there. Yeah. Wigan Athletic. Wow, what giant killers.
Well, they beat Man City, they beat West Ham, and they beat Bournemouth at home.
And they got Southampton 11-10.
Yeah. 7 but maybe it was a spark that Southampton needed. That Pellegrini looked like he'd lost the change room. Maybe Mark Hughes, I know Steve doesn't think they need a replay, but as long as they don't get beat, they get back, take them back to St Mary's and get through. They draw a big player in that game.
Yeah.
Wigan will sit tight.
Leicester City, they can play a bit. Chelsea are very good side, but Leicester City are 5-2, just about to win at home.
Yeah, strange. Chelsea have lost their last five away games. If you include the League Cup, Arsenal beat them, Man United beat them, Watford beat them, Man City beat them, and Barcelona beat them last night. But if they play anything like they did last night, they'll be hard to beat, Paul. They were really impressive.
They're on song. They said they can't take and play.
He did a good job last night. I fancy Chelsea, but I think there'll be goals. Yes. Leicester can't defend.
Yeah.
So I think there'll be plenty of goals, but Chelsea to go through in the end.
Okie dokie. Now let's go and have a look at the football. We started off in the football, Budge, and we were going through it when Stevie came on the line. We've done Maritzburg, we've done Chipper. Yeah. We got to Chiefs and Amazulu.
Yeah, in the last 22 games, Amazulu have only beat Chiefs once. Chiefs just can't score goals. I think they played 23 league games, scored 19 goals. It's not good enough.
What are their supporters saying?
Well, I speak to several, and they just say the players aren't good enough.
Yeah, I see Parker put in the paper. Yeah. Boys, you've got to start scoring goals.
It's easy to defend, but, Steve's a defender. Yeah. So I don't know what type of forward drills they do. Yeah. Amazulu work hard. Draw a player, but you've got to think Chiefs the FNB should beat Amazulu.
Pirates going to have to bounce back from last night.
Disappointed, but their last 9 meetings with Arrows, they've won. One thing about Pirates, they have a go. They're second in the league, 4 points behind Sundowns. It's a game they've got to win. Clinton Larson's Arrows don't score many goals. They'll obviously sit tight and make it hard to beat. But I draw a player. But if I had to go for 2 teams, definitely Orlando Pirates.
Okay.
In the last game, Paul, the draw's a big player. Bloemfontein Celtic have scored 18 goals in 23 league games. Only thing is, Platinum Stars have to go for it. They're, I think, 7 points adrift.
Yeah, they have to
They've got to go for it. So they've got to open up, which would obviously play into Celtic's hand. But a draw a big player when you get teams that can't score goals.
All right, Buzz, let's look at the soccer sixes.
Yeah, I've gone win and draw, or I've gone Free State Stars win and draw at Chipper. I've bankered Valencia. I think they should be too good for Alaves. I've gone Chiefs win and draw against Amazulu. Real Sociedad win and draw at home against Getafe. Pirates win and draw against Arrows. And Real Betis win and draw at home against Espanyol 192.
That's it. Right. The next soccer 6.
Soccer 6, yeah, I've gone 3 bankers, 3 fields. I've looked for an upset in the first game, Bournemouth West Brom. I fancy Crystal Palace to beat Huddersfield. I've gone the field, Stoke Everton. I bank at Liverpool to beat Watford. I've gone the field looking for the upset with Bolton against Aston Villa. And bank at Man United against Brighton 162.
Yeah, that looks a good bet there, bud. Okay, the 10.
Soccer 10, I've gone the field with Birmingham City, Hull City, desperation game at the bottom of the Championship. I've gone the field, excuse me, Bournemouth West Brom. I've banked at Palace to beat Huddersfield. I've gone Leeds win and draw, 2 teams that haven't won in 3, or they've won 1 out of the last 13 games. Leeds and Sheffield United. I like Leeds at home, but I've thrown the draw in. I've gone Stoke win and draw at home against Everton. I've banked Millwall, who've won the last 5 away games to beat Barnsley. I've gone Preston win and draw at Sunderland, which should be a desperate game, especially for Sunderland. I've gone Aston Villa win and draw at Bolton. Bank at Liverpool.
Can Bolton trouble Villa?
They've only lost 1 at home.
Okay.
The last 9. That was against Preston, local derby of all things. But they could. But Aston Villa was a bad result midweek.
Yes, they got to bounce back.
You've got to expect them to bounce back, but you never know away from home.
They're up in the scrum, aren't they? They're about 4th or something.
Yeah, they third Aston Villa, but they were like 4 points behind. That was a terrible home loss to QPR.
Yeah.
So you never know, Paul. You can have 1 bad week and that's you gone. So 288 with the soccer 10.
Yeah, your 2 bankers at the
Soccer
bottom.
13 is our usual 5 bankers and 8 win and draws. I've banked Man United to beat Brighton. I've gone 1 and 3 in this game, not 1 and 2. I just think West Brom have to go for it.
Yeah.
A draw is no
good for them.
No good, so it's either win or get beat. I've banked Palace to beat Huddersfield. I've gone Liverpool to beat Watford. I've gone Stoke win and draw at home against Everton. I've gone Hull City win and draw at Birmingham. I've gone Aston Villa win and draw at Bolton. I've gone Middlesbrough win and draw at Brentford. I've banked Bristol City to beat Ipswich. I've gone Leeds United win and draw against Sheffield Wednesday. I've banked Norwich to beat Reading. I've gone Sheffield United win and draw against Nottingham Forest, and Preston win and draw at Sunderland 409.
409. There we go. Get that soccer 13 going.
Right,
Budgie's best bets.
Yeah,
Now,
I've had.
let's have a look at your quartet.
Yeah, I've gone, obviously some of the prizes were shocking. So I've gone Crystal Palace to win at Huddersfield. I've gone Middlesbrough and Cardiff to win and draw at Brentford and Derby. And I've gone Tottenham to win the FA Cup. We've been on that tune since, 3,600. We've got 1 bet going through, 360, 200. I've gone for 4 teams in the Championship this week. I've gone Fulham to beat QPR. I've gone Millwall to beat Barnsley away. I've gone Wolves to beat Burton Albion at home. And I've taken a bit of a flyer. Cardiff City, I think they've won the last 8 to beat Derby County away. So that worked out at 12.5 to 1.
Cardiff City's problem came over Christmas. They had
Yes.
3 defeats. Otherwise, they'd have been.
Well, the moment he got given manager of the month, I think he lost the next 4.
Yeah.
But they're on fire at the moment. Both teams to score, I've gone Bournemouth West Brom, Liverpool Watford, Leicester Chelsea, and Sunderland Preston. 10 to 1, 2,200.
Okay.
Over 2.5 goals quartet. I've gone Bournemouth West Brom,
You want goals there?
Man United Brighton,
Yeah.
Leicester Chelsea,
Yeah.
and Celta Vigo Malaga. 11 to 1, 2,002 to 200. Spanish omelette, I've gone Atletico Madrid to beat Villarreal. I've gone over 2.5 goals in the Barcelona, Atletico Bilbao, and Real Betis Espanyol game. And I've gone Celta Vigo to win and over 2.5 total goals in their game against Malaga on Saturday, 2,500 to 200. And our 6 and Xer, I've gone Liverpool to beat Watford, Palace to beat Huddersfield, Fulham to beat QPR, Juventus to beat Spal, Eintracht Frankfurt to beat Mainz in the Bundesliga, and Celta Vigo to beat Malaga. 3,200 to 200.
Some lovely bets there.
Yep.
Some lovely bets. It looks like we could be getting a bit more money in. But Budge, so everything to play for with the last one standing in
the
the
rugby.
rugby.
The soccer's 2-week break because the
2 week
international break and the
yeah.
FA Cup. Yeah.
FA Cup international break. Okay, well, there we go. Get those bets on and we'll see you again. Stay on side.